Hi everyone, it's Dr. Gina Joe, or Dr. Gina Jefferson, Professor of Otolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery. And today I'm going to share with you another snippet of the conversation I recently had with my friend and colleague, Dr. Troy Woodard.
So I met with my pre-med advisor and I was like, here's my list. I took my test, the MCAT, and again, he was like, well, I think your list is too high. Do you realize that 10 of your 15 schools are in the top 10 in the nation? And I said, well, I didn't realize that, but I liked what they had to say, and I think they would be a good fit for me. He was like, no, you need to rethink your choices. You're thinking too high, right? Again, another area where someone else could have fallen off, right? And so thank God I didn't listen to him. I went ahead and applied, to Johns Hopkins. And when he told me I would never be granted an interview, and I got that interview, right? And so what I didn't realize was that there was other obstacles that came about that maybe some other people wouldn't have to consider, like financial, right? So at that time, my mother, she was disabled, had crippling rheumatoid arthritis, so it didn't work, right? And so I got these interviews to medical school, but I didn't realize that you had to fly there, you had to get hotel, you had to have a suit, shoes, all of these things, which cost thousands of dollars. So I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do, right? And so I didn't want to let my mom know. I told her I had the interviews, but I didn't tell her how much it was going to cost. So I ended up, believe it or not, I wrote the president of the university, told him my story. And next thing I knew, he decided to sponsor me.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So he bought my suit, shoes, because I didn't have any of that. Suit, shoes, and my flight to Johns Hopkins.
That was so resourceful.
Yes. And so, I say all of this because even though, it's not like, oh, the world's against me. I want to show that even though, there are hurdles and obstacles, you got to still persevere. But then there's also people in the world who can mentor you and sponsor you and help you get to whatever point that you need to go, right?
Right. And they don't necessarily look like you.
Right, exactly. They don't, right? And so that, that was a big change or turning point in my life, got to Hopkins, met some great individuals in the Department of Otolaryngology, Charlie Cummings, Dr. Couch, Marion Couch, and Howard Francis. Mm-hmm. And what I realized, right, was that, so Dr. Marion Couch, a woman with kids, at that time, I think she was still flying planes? I think so. Then I saw Dr. Howard Francis. They were junior attendings at that time, right? And I was like, wow, they, to me, diversity right there, right? A woman head neck surgeon, African-American male, who were led by I consider the father ENT, Dr. Charlie Cummings. And I was like, this is what it's about. And they were nice too. I was like, this is what I want to be, right? And so they welcomed me, mentored and sponsored me, got my residency spot at Loyola, Mm-hmm. And so going there, a lot of challenges, right? Because you're the first African-American, I was the first African-American male there. And I think what a lot of African-Americans experience, and it doesn't matter if it's otolaryngology or any other specialty, you always have to, there's a sense that you always have to work harder, do more to prove to others that you belong or that you are just as capable as your counterparts, right? And that you're not an affirmative action charity case.
That's right.
Right. And so that's a big burden to place on, a young adult who's still trying to take in all of this, large amount of information and still trying to save lives and, but that's something that we have to do.
For all of you who follow me, continue to follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm at Dr. Gina Joe.